This is KBOI 2 News Midday.
And thank you for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Brian Moore, and let's get right to your top 11 stories at 11. Ride-sharing service Uber has been blocked by Boise, but it could be back if some state lawmakers have their way. There's a bill in the State House that would allow Uber to operate in the entire state. This after city leaders couldn't come to an agreement with Uber. I see Boise wanted Uber drivers to go through a very rigorous background check. We'll have more on this story coming up in just a few moments. An oil that comes from the same plant as pot is one step closer to being legal here in the Gem State. Advocates say the marijuana extract helps with seizures in children who have severe forms of epilepsy. Senators voted yesterday to decriminalize it. That bill now headed to the House. Also moving ahead, a potential change in Idaho's gun laws. If approved, Idahoans would be allowed to carry concealed weapons outside city limits without a license. Now, the bill also sets guidelines for safety courses and permit fees. The Senate still has to okay the measure. 25-year-old Alex Bailey of Caldwell is behind bars, charged with obstructing a police officer, possession of a controlled substance, and felony possession of a firearm. Officers say Bailey ran across I-94 trying to escape from police, causing a two-vehicle crash. People inside one of those vehicles did have to be taken to the hospital, but we are told they had non-life-threatening injuries. 3 murder victims will be laid to rest later today, 2 weeks after they were found dead in their Foothills home. The Ada County Sheriff has said Ted, Elaine, and Tom Welp were killed in a very bloody and violent crime. Family and friends will attend their funeral this afternoon at St. Paul's. That's by BSU. One man is in jail, accused of going on a shopping spree with the victim's credit cards, but still, no one has been charged with these murders yet. Recovery crews continue to sift through the wreckage of the downed Germanwings flight that crashed into the Alps. The plane is practically disintegrated. Helicopter crews say the largest piece of debris they've spotted is no bigger than a small car. Friends and families are gathering at airports trying to get word on what happened to their loved ones.
Everyone at Lufthansa and Germanwings is currently deeply shocked and saddened by these events.
Investigators still don't know what caused the plane to go from cruise into a descent. 150 people are feared dead. The Ada County Highway District has painted these green dashes called green ladders on Capitol Boulevard. Now, they're intended to serve as a warning that a buffered bike lane will merge into a lane shared with drivers who will be making right-hand turns.
And what it does is it just alerts people of that mixing zone and the need for riders to look out for motorists and motorists to look out for riders.
The Highway District had intended to lay these green patches down last year, but it was too cold and too wet for them. More green ladders may go up if they are needed. And heads up drivers, the westbound Eagle off-ramp will soon be returning to normal. Both lanes of that ramp will reopen tonight. The ramp has been restricted to a single lane for the last several weeks. Crews will still be in the area overnight tonight, finishing up some work. So if you're going to use that ramp, keep an eye out for them. And it could have proven to be a deadly prank. Police in northern Idaho are trying to track down whoever strung plastic saran wrap across a busy stretch of freeway. It happened on I90 near the Kingston exit. Several cars were damaged. Even one windshield was shattered. But it could have been much worse.
Warming up, people are starting to ride their bikes again, and that could be a serious issue. Could be absolutely fatal, absolutely.
Now, if anybody does get killed, police say it's at least a manslaughter charge. Heinz buying Kraft Foods Group. The merger will create one of the largest food and beverage makers in the world. Kraft shareholders will receive stock in the combined company and a special cash dividend of $16.50 per share. The combined company's brands will include Kraft, Heinz, Oscar Mayer, and a number of others. Treefort Music Festival kicks off later today. 400 bands will perform at multiple venues across town. The festival also brings a tech event, film festival, and yoga events. So you can expect to see a lot of hustle and bustle in downtown Boise for the next several days. Local bars and restaurants tell us it's one of the busiest times of the year.
It picks up, in volumes. It's an interesting kind of ebb and flow, with people kind of venue jumping. But yeah, it's great for business.
Okay, the spokesman there for the Reef, which is one of Treefort's venues, says it's all hands on deck. As you can imagine, hundreds of people will pass through the restaurant for several shows there over the coming days.